Coming up on Fulton Today, what does the future hold in terms of how the Fulton Industrial Boulevard will be serviced? Business leaders want to know.
The transition of Fulton County employees to the new city of South Fulton may take a little longer than expected. I'm Dante Carter, and I'll explain why.
That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. We have important county news to share with you.
I believe that that's the right thing to do.
Fulton commissioners asked the Fulton Board of Assessors to rescind assessment notices after a number of residents expressed concern about the increases in their values. The Board of Assessors did not rescind the notices, but said it would take the issue under advisement.
I certainly respect all the work that they have to do, and they play a very, very important role, but I think that they need to really incorporate the human factor, the compassionate factor, because a lot of people are being hurt by these increased values. And so I just strongly encourage them to rescind the notices and then come up with sort of a review of the methodology and possibly also freeze the 2017 values at 2016 levels.
I think the end result was disappointing. I thought we could have acted today and provided the Fulton County taxpayers a little bit of assurance that we were going to go back and ensure that what we gave them was accurate and correct.
We have a due process where if you disagree with your value, if you think your value is too high or not uniform, you have an opportunity to appeal. And you have an opportunity to appeal to a staff who is ready to listen to what you have to say.
Fulton County residents who want to appeal their values can visit fultonassessors.org. The original timeline to transfer services to the new city of South Fulton has been modified. Now, as you may recall, leaders first reported a June date for the municipal services to be transferred to South Fulton. But FGTV's Dante Carter tells us that more time was needed. Dante?
Hundreds of Fulton County employees will be impacted by the new city of South Fulton, and leaders want to make sure that transition is smooth.
We're going to tell you the truth as we know it today.
During the June employee transition meeting at the Aviation Community Cultural Center, the county manager and the chief operating officer addressed a wide range of topics, including what's next after the governor's recent veto. One of the biggest topics discussed was the announcement of a delay in the transfer of services of planning and community services.
As of June 1, we anticipated that planning would have already transferred, but they decided and noticed us that they'd like to delay that for another month.
The discussion also included insurance providers for the transitioning employees, RIF letters versus retirement, and the possibility of employees starting their new city positions with 2 weeks of vacation and sick leave.
So there's a lot of information about retirement and RIF and a lot of questions you may have. And even the ones who were not here will probably repeat some of the questions you'll get asked again. So feel free to ask whatever you want to.
As always, the county continues to stay as transparent as possible when asked the tough questions.
As we've said before, we're really going to tell the truth as we know it. So each meeting we probably do have some new news. So we ought to keep considering that this is a fluid situation, that things will change, but there's no hidden agenda. And as soon as we know anything and any decision's been made, we'll let everyone know.
Now, the monthly employee transition meetings began in November of last year, but they will continue until the transition is complete. For FGTV, I'm Dante Carter.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, South Fulton business leaders are concerned about how services will be delivered now that their corridor is the only part of the unincorporated Fulton. Members of the Boulevard Community Improvement District gathered for their regular June meeting and invited both county and new city leadership. Now in May, Governor Nathan Deal vetoed a bill that would have allowed voters to decide if Fulton Industrial Boulevard would be a part of the new city. A majority of Fulton commissioners supported the bill that would have given residents the right to vote on the issue. Well, once all of the municipal services are transferred to the new city, business leaders want to know how the FIB corridor will be serviced since they are not in the new city and since the county won't provide those kinds of services.
In our capacity as business owners and investors of real estate in the Fulton Industrial Boulevard area, from all of the business people and investors that I've talked to, there's unanimous support for the Fulton Industrial Boulevard District to come into the city of South Fulton. And we look forward to continuing to help with that process.
The Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor at issue is less than 10 miles long. Early voting in the 6th Congressional District special election ends this week. Early voting is taking place at the Alpharetta Library, the East Roswell Branch, the North Fulton Service Center, the Milton Library, and the Robert Fulton OC Library. Now, if you're unsure as to whether or not you are eligible to vote in this runoff election, Registration and Elections Director, he offers this advice.
Voters can go to the Secretary of State's My Voter page to check their congressional district. Also, all of the voters up in the Congressional District 6 will be receiving a head of household mailing that went out on May 22nd into the mail.
Now, if you're waiting to vote on the June 20th election day, keep in mind your regular polling location may have been changed.
Fulton County Schools had a number of renovations that needed to be done in these schools. This election originally wasn't on the calendar, and usually when schools have the renovations, they undergo those renovations in the summers, and the elections department usually isn't on their mind when they're making these schedules. So it's understandable, and it's something that we can't avoid. So what we do is consolidate them with other precincts in the area.
Whether you're voting early or day of, make sure you have proper identification before heading to the polls.
Everyone needs a photo identification. There are a number of acceptable photo IDs, from the driver's license, military ID, passport, tribal ID, military ID, any government employee issued ID as well.
If you missed any of this information, just log on to FultonElections.com. Fulton Citizens University students spend an evening of culture. The 2017 FCCU class took a trip to the Central Library to experience how the library system and arts and culture centers ensure that all people's lives are culturally and recreationally enriched. And when it comes to the library system, the students were taught how officials incorporate new technology and the library's role in the community. They were also informed about the positive benefits arts and culture have on people's lives.
I was so excited about class tonight. I've had a library card for 33 years in the system, and any resource that I've ever needed from the library, whether it's a DVD or a VHS, I'm aging myself, or a book or publication for academic purposes or even pleasure reading, I've been able to find in the system.
I was amazed about all of the different programs that arts and cultural have in the community. As a classroom teacher, knowing some of the programs that they offer, now I can talk to my students about it and their parents about it and get them engaged as well.
Next week, the students make their way to the Department of Real Estate and Asset Management and Public Works. And still to come on Fulton Today, the pipe dream of using the county's wasted water comes to fruition. Details are next in our district by district coverage. Fulton addresses the increases in some of the property assessments and break ground on a reuse water main project. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves, who addressed the media about the 2017 property assessment notices that residents are getting in the mail. Fulton County Tax Assessor's Office has issued assessment notices to more than 320,000 properties. Many property owners across Fulton County saw significant valuation increases. And an increase in valuation often means an increase in property tax bills.
We made a request that they rescind this this notice, they review, a thorough review of what they have done in terms of the methodology, the way that people have had their property assessments done. I think there's something not right about what has happened, where you have 50% of the folks have had at least a 20% increase in their assessments.
The appeals are made through the Assessor's Department, not the Tax Commissioner's Office.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's official. Ground has been broken for the Johns Creek Reuse Water Main Project. District 1 Commissioner Liz Hausman, along with the Johns Creek Mayor and other top county staff, did the honors. The project will connect sections of a previously built reuse water main infrastructure.
This is a very important project to the northeast side of Fulton County. This will allow us to reestablish our irrigation with gray water to our large commercial customers, many of whom are golf courses, and they depend on water to operate.
It's an opportunity that in the worst of times, when we have the most severe droughts, when these entities that are so important to the citizens and visitors of Johns Creek would be not able to keep their properties looking great and bringing an invitation for folks to come and therefore losing jobs, this is what's going to sustain them through those times, and it's so vitally important.
Located in Roswell and Johns Creek, the installation involves about 24,000 linear feet of new iron piping. The reuse water pipes are purple.
The pipes are purple to designate that it's reuse water and not drinking water or sanitary water.
It's just a phenomenal coming together of capabilities, environmental concerns, and then real customer needs.
The use of non-potable water sources for irrigation is an important component in the sustainable growth and development of the North Fulton County community. And finally, we continue our look at the summer youth programs in District 6. This week, we visited Burdette Park.
Welcome to the District 6 summer program for children, youth, and their families. And I intend to see you there, so don't be surprised if you see me most any day getting ready to jump in the pool.
The summer campers are enjoying a full range of camp activities, including arts and crafts, swimming, and other fun events.
You get to swim and have fun with your friends and meet new people. I get to play basketball and air hockey.
Here at Burdette, we have a great staff where we work together as a team. No one person is bigger than the other. Anybody needs help, we're there for each other, and we always make sure that the kids are having a good, fun, and safe time.
According to the American Camp Association, children need resiliency skills, self-esteem, life skills, self-reliance, and pro-social behaviors. Now, psychologists believe that camps like this offer these skills in a nurturing environment. Next week, we will take another look at one of the youth summer camp experiences in District 6. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when Fulton Today returns, see how acting fast can save the life of someone having a stroke. Stay with us. The Georgia Department of Public Health just wrapped up its Stroke Awareness Month activities, and here's what they want you to know. Without emergency medical services, treating stroke quickly and preventing permanent brain damage cannot happen. So Keith Wages, he is the Director of EMS and Trauma for the Georgia Department of Public Health. He is here now to talk to us about some of the things we absolutely must do. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. And I understand that stroke is the 4th leading cause of death in Georgia, but quick recognition of stroke symptoms and fast treatment can prevent death and disability. Talk to us a little bit about some of the signs and the symptoms.
Severe headaches are very common, confusion, weakness, trouble walking, trouble speaking or understanding. All of these are potential signs that require further assessment.
And Keith, if someone is experiencing a stroke, what should they do right away?
Well, the first thing is to dial 911 and seek assistance from the local EMS provider. They should not take medicine, they should not eat or drink while awaiting on the arrival of the ambulance, and should not walk, should lay still until EMS arrives.
And I understand from my notes that there is a simple evaluation of a person's symptoms that you can tell whether or not they're having a stroke. Tell us what that is.
We use the acronym FAST, F-A-S-T. F is for facial droop, another one of the signs or symptoms. A is for arms, arm movement. If the arms do not move equally, uniformly up, if one is lagging. And in speech, if the speech is slurred or troubled in any way. And then T is for time, which is to access the EMS system immediately. We use the expression time is brain. So the longer we delay, the greater the risk.
FAST, that is good to know, F-A-S-T. Okay, well, give us your final thoughts.
Our goal is to get the patient to the right hospital at the right time. Utilizing EMS assures a more rapid definitive diagnosis or assessment and transportation to the appropriate facility. So everyone is encouraged to be knowledgeable of these signs and symptoms of stroke and to access EMS immediately via 911.
All right, Keith Wages with the Georgia Department of Public Health, thank you so much for sharing all of that great information.
Thank you so much for having us.
Now again, quick medical attention could help prevent brain damage and even death, so by all means, call 911 immediately. Well, it's that time of year for Fulton's environmental health team to keep us all safe from the West Nile and Zika viruses. The county's contractor, Clark Services, has begun mosquito spraying in targeted areas. Those are areas where children and seniors gather, like the Auburn Neighborhood Senior Center, which is why they focused on that area first.
We're pretty much on call for Fulton County Health Department as needed. This is just one of many other facilities that we treat and that we're treating right now. Also, what we're spraying is creating a barrier that is going to help protect for some more time.
Spraying helps reduce the mosquito population, which is one step in preventing the Zika and West Nile viruses. Clark Services uses a targeted formula to reduce the insecticide load and toxicity to water, soil, and other insects. Now, health officials also want to remind residents that they can do their part by tipping and tossing out any stagnant water from flower pots or other objects around the home. Mosquitoes use standing water to breed. To learn more, go to PreventZikaInFulton.com. The American Red Cross is thanking Fulton County employees for donating blood during one of the most critical times of year. Red Cross techs set up shop at both the Fulton County Government Center and the South Fulton Government Service Center. Because families typically take vacations during the summer months, the blood donation supply dwindles. Fulton staffers say they just want to do their part to hopefully save one life.
I give blood because that's just a natural state for me. It's important to help others.
I think a little bit of time out of yourself and a little something of yourself to help as many as 3 lives is an important thing to do, and I think it's something they desperately need, and I can give it and do a little something to help. Why not?
Fulton hosts a number of blood drives for the Red Cross. However, you can donate anytime. Just visit the Red Cross website for the dates, times, and locations. And still to come on Fulton Today, discover how developing a green thumb could help you both mentally and physically. Well, believe it or not, growing your own vegetables is healthy for your body in more ways than just one. To celebrate Gardening Exercise Day, the Central Library hosted a How Does Your Garden Grow event.
I like stories and projects that deal with patience
and showing kids, a lot of our kids today with technology are used to instant gratification. I like our stories and our projects to teach kids patience and work and seeing the benefits of that work come later, not instantly.
Along with hearing engaging stories, those in attendance were given the opportunity to plant seeds in a flower pot that they've got to decorate themselves.
And we got sunflower seeds, and we got some potting soil, and basically we just covered the quarter water container with a cut balloon, put the soil in and the seeds in, and there you go.
Celebrated nationally, Gardening Exercise Day was designed to make people aware of the calorie-burning benefits gardening offers through activities such as pulling weeds, digging, and mowing. And finally, Fulton's youth commissioners wrap up their year with a special ceremony to honor all of their hard work.
I'm like you. I'm a parent.
Fulton County Commissioners recognized the youth commissioners by giving them each a certificate of completion plaque during a special ceremony at Zoo Atlanta. The Youth Commission started in 1999 and is designed to address youth issues by using youth to work on policy making and community service.
It allowed me to experience a lot of opportunities to gain knowledge in a political aspect. It also allowed me to go to see different colleges and things like that and meet very, very great people in the world.
Youth Commission has meant a lot to me. I've learned a lot about myself. I've had the opportunity to be able to help out others in my community, and it's taught me a lot about just being humble, and when you're in a position to help someone else, just make sure you can do that.
It's genuinely like a family in the Youth Commission because everyone gets so close, especially over the retreat and all of the community service hours that we put in every single week, and we just get so close by working together and having fun together.
The Youth Commissioner Coordinator says each commissioner contributed more than 400 hours of service. Here's the contact information to get your child involved in one of the future classes. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out anytime on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.